Speaking of which, Charles Barkley had an announcement. And I go, wait a minute here. NBA TV, guest analyst. And all of a sudden, Charles Barkley says the following.
I have made the decision myself, no matter what happens, next year is going to be my last year on television. And I just want to say thank you to my NBA family. You guys have been great to me. My heart is full with joy and gratitude. But I'm going to pass the baton at the end of next year. I hope the NBA stays with TNT. But for me personally, I wanted you guys to hear from me because I'm not doing any more interviews. Don't y'all be calling me. Nobody calling me. I'm not talking about this again, but I want to tell my NBA and NBA TV and TNT family that I'm not going to another network. But next year, I'm going to just retire after 25 years, and I just want to say thank you, and I wanted y'all to hear from me first.
Okay. How many believe that Charles will retire after next season? Fritzy?
I do not. I think if someone throws crazy money at him, he would continue to do his thing.
All right, Seton, what do you think?
I'm going to say a brief hiatus.
Brief hiatus. We'll ask Reggie Miller, who joins us next hour. Yes, Marv?
It's going to be a Jordan retirement.
Ooh, come
year
back
and a half.
with the Wizards?
No, come back with the Bulls.
So
the first retirement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Paulie?
I believe Charles meant what he said the other night. In his head, I think he means it. I think he's very frustrated. When he was on our show a couple weeks ago, he seemed very sad, angry, and frustrated about the situation. He does have a family where they're the producers and stuff. I think Charles is also maybe doing a little negotiating on behalf of TNT to keep them in the mix for the NBA simultaneously.
But I don't know if he's saying that it's going to be no matter what happens, he's still retiring. So it's not, hey, TNT is going to stay in the mix with the NBA. It sounds like Charles is saying, no matter what happens, I hope it stays there, but I'm going to retire. Charles says a lot of things, and there are times when I go, I don't believe that you believe that. This one felt like, maybe that is true. Now, I was a little disappointed that he was kind of taking maybe a cue from me about announcing a retirement, and then all of a sudden he's going to do one more year, and then I'm doing 3 more years. So I don't know. Just felt like this was a message sent directly to me. That, you're going to milk this retirement here? So am I. I'm going to own it for the next year. Yes, Paul.
If I'm Adam Silver, and I'm not overstating this, I don't let that happen. Adam Silver's job is the good of the league, and there's no one who is better for the good of the league, and including players, more important to the good of the league than Charles Barkley to be part of whatever broadcasts are going on. I don't care what network it is. I'll watch Charles if he's on,
Yeah, but he said he doesn't want to work at ESPN.
Yeah.
I think you could keep everybody together, as we've talked about, and then you just sort of outsource the show and, whoever one of these partners, and you say, we want to keep everybody in Atlanta, and we want you to buy our show. I don't know if those kind of negotiations are going on. I think you'd be crazy if you didn't at least have a fact-finding mission to see, can we keep this show intact? And the value of that if you don't have Charles in there. Like Draymond Green wants to be a TV personality, but Draymond Green's not appointment programming for me. Tune in to watch. I mean, I've tuned in just to see the pregame show or the halftime show or post-game show. That says a lot about the entertainment value factor here. But Draymond Green is not, he might sit in that chair. He's not replacing Charles Barkley. And I love Jamal Crawford. Nobody's going to replace Charles Barkley. No one. He is John Madden to his sport. There will be somebody who will sit in there. There'll be somebody who's entertaining, but nobody is going to be Charles. He's the most valuable person in TV right now. I just don't know if you walk away from that. And he's got commercial endorsements. Does that stay if he's gone? But he seemed frustrated, angry. And I think I even asked, it sounds like you're angry. And he said, I am. But he was angry because he was trying to protect everybody at TNT. And he's not able to do that. Yes,
it's like sometimes the business of TV gets in the way of great TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the politics.
Yeah.
And maybe he's done. I mean, it's 25 years. That's a long time. Long time. And he survived, too. Like, there's nobody who has the longitude or latitude to have opinions the way Charles does. Stephen A. is close to that. Pat McAfee is close to that. But they've all taken cues from Charles. I mean, Charles gave us hot takes before we knew what hot takes were. When you think about it, he had hot takes. It just, nobody was going to label that a hot take. He would say, I don't do hot takes. It's just, that's his opinion. Nowadays, those are hot takes. Yeah, Paul.
Now, while I hope he doesn't retire, if he is going to retire, Charles has no filter now. Imagine next year with no job to worry about and one more year on the air, what he's like on air if he has
I don't think
zero
it'll
filter.
change, Paulie.
But
I
mean,
don't.
It might be even more wide open.
I don't even think it matters to him. I really don't. I don't think he's tried to be anything. I don't think when he goes on the air, he's trying to be anything. A lot of times, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but people I've worked with have a personality once they go on TV. That's not who they are. They have to almost put on a uniform or a mask to go, that's who I am when I get on TV. But they're not that way when they're not. That's Charles. You're around Charles, that's the way he is. That's the beauty of Charles. When you're with him, he's Charles Barkley. He doesn't change. So I hope it's not true, but it sounds like it is. Now, a lot of times you say things in the moment, and you're frustrated, you're angry, and then you walk it back a little bit. Yeah, Paulie.
All right, here's the bigger question for us as a show. Charles said at the second half of that clip, nobody call me. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm not doing any interviews. Can we call Charles Barkley?
No, I said to Fritzy, hey, just maybe text Charles. Just say, hey, you're probably talking about every other show but ours. Dan thinks you were talking about every other show but ours. Is that right, Charles? Like, then it's okay. Did you get a hold of Charles?
I have not heard back, but we did a gentle,
Okay.
professional, finessed way of posing
Okay.
our interest in having him on if he's up for it.
What was the tone? How do you ask somebody who said, don't ask me to come on any show?
I think I said, congratulations on a great career, playing into the fact that believing what he said. And I said, although you made it clear you don't want to talk to anybody, ... And then I just continued with my pitch.
Okay.
Gently.
Okay. Yeah, you could have thrown in there that, hey, Dan doesn't believe you're talking about his show. You're talking about all the other shows.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's a fair assumption, gotta admit.
He's been on this show more than any other show in the last 15 years. Yes, Marv.
Do you make an offer to Chuck or any other show, a weekly appearance after next season? Like, name your price.
Well, I don't want to do that.
No, I'm just saying. Marvin, you're not getting paid.
No,
I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh.
hey, but we got Barkley. Yeah, I don't have McAfee money here that I can go, hey, you want $1 million? Here you go. Aaron Rodgers or Nick Saban, which it's great business strategy. I know everybody's like, well, that's not being journalistically. But I said, Pat McAfee's not trying to be a journalist. He's an entertainer. You know, he's going to pay you to come on his show. Good for him. Got the coin, got a lot of mileage out of it.